then like have you guys talking about Overwatch? Okay.
Nah, yeah, we like I do have something that I'm working on that's Overwatch related, but it's entirely to piss off all my friends that get annoyed with my puns, and it's gonna be
Oh
glorious.
I
my.
have something Voltron related in the works, but
I I have stuff in
Let's
works.
do this.
All right, welcome to VYTALCast, everyone. We're like
Welcome to
10
VYTALCast.
seconds in, according to YouTube. Uh,
Yes.
so today
Okay.
it's going to be interesting because this will be the first VYTALCast with a super chat
Oh,
feature.
that's
They just
well,
added it like 2 days ago.
that's right. It is. But the fan funding is still going to be in service until the 28th.
Yes,
what?
but that was only if you're signed up for fan service already. If you, I mean, fan support. If you didn't already have fan support, the option's gone.
Yes.
So I tried to sign up around my birthday for fan support, and the option's not even there. But there's super chat. Anyway, hello chat.
What is up, bro?
What is super chat?
Super chat. Okay, so it's like Twitch on like how people can like pay money and like their chat thing will stay up for a few minutes, so the streamer will see it.
Oh,
So
Only in this case with Super Chat, it stays up to about 5 hours.
no. It was like about 5 minutes.
No, I read it last night after you posted your thing, and I was like, I have no idea what this is about.
Really?
It's up to. It doesn't have to be 5 hours.
Okay,
It's up to.
that must be like a huge amount they're paying though.
Yeah,
Oh.
like I don't know if it's related to how much you spend. Or
Yeah,
what
I think
the
it's
diploma.
I think it's like the more you hi Tacoma.
She wants to be part of VitalCast.
She's jealous of my mouse
she's trying to
pad.
eat my headphones, actually.
She was trying
Like
to
she does every time,
yeah,
but she's being
which-
more insistent about it than usual.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Terry's got it right. It's a priority chat. Hello everyone.
Oh,
So,
we got quite a few people going already.
yeah. I didn't schedule it this time because I didn't want to. After last week with having so many different issues going on, I was like, screw this. Holy cow, we jumped from like 7 to 27 in like 3 seconds. Okay, so
I don't know how to use YouTube.
there's a new. It's easier than Twitch, honestly, but
It's not showing me how many people are watching, so basically all I can see how many people liked it, and then whenever someone puts something in the chat, I can't see shit besides that.
okay.
So
That sucks, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, so there is some RTX news other than RTX Sydney starting right now.
Okay.
oh shit, that's a thing.
RTX London is now a thing.
Oh, that's
They have
right.
just
That's what
announced
Dan was talking
RTX
about.
London just like an hour or two ago. So they've been hinting at a new RTX for a week now, and everyone was like, "Please be London, please be London, please be London," and then they're like, "London." So congrats, everyone, you were right. So
What did I miss when I was doing homework?
that.
I haven't even heard of heard of the hints of this. What, did Tupac come back too?
No,
Yes.
there's 3 Pac.
Three.
There was Pac Man, and then there was 2 Pac. Now there's 3 Pac.
Soon there'll be 6 Pac because he's been hitting the gym.
Yeah. Okay, Xeno the Wise says, "Are you guys going to talk about the EW exclusive final clip?" Well, as reactors, we usually try to stay as blind as possible, so
There's an
Yeah.
exclusive final
no.
clip.
Yeah, so
I'm not
the
familiar
EW
with
the EW released a clip. All I saw was like, "There's a Grim out of the cage," and I'm like, they're probably talking about the Knuckavali Grim. So
GX Canada.
RTX Canada, dude, RTX Canada would be like, I mean, like no offense to Canadians, that's a little too close to Texas, you know. Like I feel like so many Americans would be going to that anyways.
Like
Anyway,
half the people I see at RTX, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm from far away," and it's like,
yeah, I saw like quite a few Canadians at RTX last year. So, when are we gonna get RTX Siberia though? When we get enough fans there?
okay,
I
but
don't know.
what about RTX Remnant? Can
RTX Remnant.
There's there's gonna be too many fantastic looking cosplays. They're gonna be too real, and there's gonna be a lot of death.
Yeah, the problem is because it is real,
volunteered.
not just looking real.
Hey, if I make my Grim Yang idea, I'd probably end up dead. One of the first ones dead.
Yeah, they're like, Grim! Oh, crap!
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
John. Oh,
No, that was just some dumbass dressed as a Grim.
There's just a blood mess everywhere. They usually disintegrate. Oh, that was a human.
Get
Okay.
the mop.
The mop is also a gun.
The shopkeeper, dude, shows up in the finale. He's cleaning up. Someone like Hazel or someone shows up and he's like, "Not my shop again, you bitch!" And he just turns it into a shotgun and shoots them.
Honestly, I think I had this
Just
dream
channels
once. I don't
Mrs.
remember what it was,
Weasley.
but all I can imagine is that, like, maybe the final season of Ruby, like the last episode of Ruby, is like it's the last fucking straw, and the
shopkeeper
is just like, not today, you son of a bitch.
he just goes ape.
He himself is also a gun.
These guns.
It's the sheriff and the deputy.
He becomes like Master Roshi.
He's like Uncle Iroh. He's like secretly ripped underneath his shirt.
Yes.
I honestly got like just wish I'm so tempted just to make it like a casual cosplay for RTX for just for like 2 hours every day at like 2 a.m. just to walk around with like a bag of cabbage.
Aaron, no.
Yes.
So
I thinking about this now and seeing Nicholas's comment, it makes me think of I kind of want a character to show up, just side character, no name, no nothing, but looks like Ash from Evil Dead.
Oh, the broom.
One arm.
The broom boomstick.
Yeah, and he's just like, "This is my broomstick."
And he
Like,
just
shoot
shoots.
something.
I haven't seen Ash versus the Evil Dead.
I haven't seen that, but I'm a fan of the old school, so.
Okay. Like I know some of the quotes, like this is my boomstick, so.
Is my volume low?
Yeah, your volume's a little low.
Is
Something
it?
I think would be kind of funny.
You both sound the same to me.
It would actually be a thing that RT animation would do, but it'd be really funny if like they snuck versions of characters from their other animated shows in the background. So in like one random episode of Ruby, if there's a crowd,
they already
you
did that
just-
in Volume 3. With what's the robot from X-Ray and Vav?
Oh,
They-
with Orf, yeah. But
Orf.
I meant like if you see like Nikki and Max and Neil in the background in Ruby, just like walking through Mistral.
Oh, dude, maybe for a Chibi episode.
That makes
Chibi, I
sense.
could see that being done.
Chibi, I can see because I feel like it'd kind of be like those Nickelodeon episodes when like Timmy Turner and Jimmy Neutron would like
Oh,
switch.
dude, that was awesome.
Fucked me up. Seeing Timmy Turner in 3D, like emotions
Really
started.
weird. It was really weird.
And then Jimmy Neutron being like all 2D and his eyes are so frightening. So like RTX London is actually an RTX I would love to go to if I ever had the money. Just because I'd love to go to London. But then also it's like RTX, you know, how do you not want to go to RTX?
Yeah.
So Andrew is asking, do you guys think they should make a Chibi exclusive character?
I feel like that wouldn't be half the fun.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel like you confuse the audience at first. Because they'd be like, whoa, who's this? We haven't seen them in the show. And then, like, eventually they get the joke that, oh, this is just a chibi
How's
character.
this? Is this better?
Yeah, you sound a bit louder. The problem with my ears is I can't always tell the difference between volume. And so I think this happens a lot when I edit stuff because people will say, oh, your video's really quiet or something's really quiet. And I edit with my volume near like 10%, like very low. And I could hear it just fine. So whenever I see people commenting going like, oh, this is too quiet, I'm like, is it? I could hear it just fine. So anyway.
Yeah.
I just exist.
Yeah. So Huntasti said, had anyone noticed before Ren activated his semblance, his accent was British? I don't think it was British. I think
It wasn't British, but it was different.
It definitely wasn't British. I wanted to say, if anything, it sounded a little Asian, just a little bit. Or
I like the hesitation. Little
well, like
Asian.
because because the accents do vary. There's a difference
I know.
between a Korean and Japanese accent. And it's like
That's very true.
so it's like I can't really pinpoint where on the map where it is. Whereas like with British accents, there's like 30 something of them, and I know the difference between about 5. And oh man, I started talking in a Scottish accent at work, and I no the thing is sometimes I change accent with my mood. And I got a little grumpy at work today because I got sent to another team, and the lady was like trying to like da-da-da-da. I'm like, feck off, like go away. like that wasn't the accent, but it was like she was like, excuse me. I'm like, nothing. I'm like you're treating me like a little kid, just go away. And she's like, where are you from? Because like she doesn't know who I am. I'm like, I'm from America, you dolt. And they're just like, okay, well.
Make sure you understand. You don't mess with me.
Yeah, they're like, start working faster. And I'm like, then you start doing your work fast, so I don't have to redo what you did. And they're like, anyway, it's
I
like.
was having Critical Role flashbacks because that's the voice that Matt Mercer will do for all of the dwarves. So I'm just like having flashbacks to all the flashbacks that I was listening to.
So anyway, so Ren, I don't know what accent he had. But I want to say, if anything, is more like a little kid accent, how like little kids talk a little different.
Talk weird.
They talk a little weird,
Little
and then they
kids are
grow.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Little weird devil.
they're literally miniature humans with off proportions, and it's really unsettling.
Yeah. So
Once I
like.
started drawing more seriously and was like working on anatomy, and I was still babysitting at the time, I just kind of be like, you don't make sense. You don't make sense. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
All right. So
Apparently, Chris says VYTALCast Braveheart crossover.
oh,
Dibs on Draco.
freedom.
All I know about Braveheart is the one reference they made to it in The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
I totally went Dragonheart with that, not thinking Braveheart.
Yeah.
Screw it. I'm gonna keep with it, Draco.
I haven't seen Braveheart yet, but so like a Scottish accent I usually don't switch into, but I usually switch into like a weird English accent because it'll like fluctuate between a few of the different accents. And that's because Alan he has much of a higher class accent, but he's from Yorkshire, which is a very much more northern accent, so it's more Nordic and
He likes to extend his 2 fingers.
Ooh.
yeah, so anyway, yeah, Nicholas, we were talking about your comment about Ren.
2 things, really quick. One about Ren is like, so I'm actually a little bit confused about one thing, and that's because isn't it usually that with, I don't know if this is all Asian culture, so I don't want to like accidentally say something wrong, but like, isn't it usually like, your first name is like your family name, and then your name after that is classification? But like, they called Ren different things in the episode. Like his parents called him Lai. And then everyone else calls him Ren now, so it's like.
So okay, so how it goes is I'm gonna use like anime that I know as an example because I've read stuff from like straight Japanese translation and then like the official English translation, and usually with characters, so like Naruto Uzumaki in Japan, they'll usually have him say Uzumaki Naruto, or they'll call him Uzumaki. So in Asian culture, usually they call by last name until you become close with someone, and then and then you use their first name because it's more like we have a close bond.
Familiarity.
Yeah.
And why was his parents just calling him by his last name essentially?
Well, in this case, we don't necessarily know if Lai was his family name or his given name. In this case, I'm pretty sure it's his given name.
Oh, okay.
And Ren is actually the last name because it's Lee Ren for his father.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Sorry, I'm just.
Yeah.
No,
it's fine.
Yeah,
so
Andrew just mentioned the same thing.
Yeah, also, I used to be like a huge Japan buff. Like I studied the culture so much, and I've lost track with it just a little bit, but it is still like the first country I want to go to.
And the other thing I was thinking of for some reason, I'm just in the mood to make as this volume has gotten more serious, I've just gotten more and more in the mood to make memes to cope. So, like, last episode, it was that don't let such a small thing stand in your way. I said that today when there was, like, something in my path. There was a rock, and I said that, and my roommate just started dying. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you don't understand.
The bus doesn't arrive.
This
Don't
is
let
how
such
I
a small
survive.
thing.
That was essentially what happened, but
Yeah.
I feel like since I don't know, I think I'm the only one who can't pronounce the Nuck's full name correctly.
The Nuklavi?
Yeah, because like I've heard it
Nucklavee,
like 6 other different ways, and I don't know which way is the right way.
Dude, I
Yeah,
just try to wing it each time I say
usually just call
it.
Nuck, but then I made the mistake of saying that to a Sonic fan. So
So like Knuckles.
it,
Dude, it was his birthday yesterday, wasn't it?
I know. He's fucking dead.
No, technically we could still have up to a year with him still.
They die at 6. They have a lifespan of 16 years.
Doesn't mean they die right on the birthday. I will fight you on
Yes.
this.
Knuckles
Die
is
right on
dead.
birthday.
You know, okay, fun story.
But we should just start calling the Nuck Knuckles.
Okay, so
Actually,
in
Ruby Sonic.
so between 4th grade and 5th grade, I got a hedgehog and I named it Sonic. And
Sonic.
yeah, I was a huge Sonic kid, and he died shortly into the school year. It was so sad.
Sucks.
I brought my friend home and I'm like, yeah, I can't wait for you to see Sonic. And
He was
there
he was too cool for school.
he was just laying there, and I'm like, oh, he's just sleeping because hedgehogs are nocturnal, and I'm poking him. I'm like, come on, Sonic. Come on, Sonic.
This just in, Sonic is dead.
Yeah, it's like, well, this is terrible flashbacks from 2
He
years
lost
ago.
wings.
Also,
Yeah.
that's kind of a side note, but kind of related. So actually, in my drawing 2 class, we're doing something called a beast narrative. So it's like a single 8x11 drawing in pure ink that is supposed to tell a story involving a beast
Pure
either in existence. What?
I said Pura ink.
Eh.
Oh, I was like, I don't know that brand.
Okay.
But
Anyway.
it's that kind of day.
Mm.
And she was like, oh yeah, I recommend doing a mythological creature. And I'm sitting here looking at my notes, just like, do I do this character for my comic or do I do the Nuck? Because the Nuck would be fucking terrifying.
That would be.
But at the same time, like, we had to have our thumbnails before we actually saw the thing, so it was like, damn.
Yeah. So there is something I do want to say that's important. I don't want to forget about it while we're streaming this. But in the description of this stream, I have 2 donation links for Brian Arndt. Earlier this week, he's been saying his family's having a hard time making ends meet. So I will have his Twitch donation link and his Facebook store link if you want to buy something. I think it's name your own price in the description. So if you're able to help a fellow Kruby member out, please help him out. He does a lot of work, and he's quite amazing with his Twitch streams because he'll like take fan art and animate them. So it's really cool.
It blows my mind.
Yeah, and Kruby has just been working way too hard to like not be able to make ends meet. And you know, with the fandom being a family, I think it's time to help a family member out. And I'll have the links in my reaction video tomorrow. So I just
Got
thought
some
I'd
pretty nice work.
point that out. Yeah, he's really awesome, and he's been a good friend. Like he's commented on VYTALCast multiple times, and he's commented on my reaction videos a couple of times, and he commented on one of yours too, Aaron. Didn't he?
Yeah, he commented on one of mine, and I think
it was shortly
around
after we
RTX
met.
or something.
Yeah.
I think it was shortly after RTX, and I essentially was just like, holy fuck.
Yeah, because I remember it was like me, and then like a few days later he commented on yours, and we're like, Senpai, noticed you.
It was the embodiment of the Phineas and Ferb comic where Candace kicks down the door and just goes, "You mom, holy fuck!"
Yeah. So
Yes.
anyway, I wanted to bring that up, and so should we start talking chapter 11 before we get into chapter 12
Yes.
predictions?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah,
May I?
yeah, you can.
Okay, Weiss, if you're gonna sneak out of your house, don't wear 3-inch heels.
Thank you.
Oh, you know, it's funny. I like completely missed this while I was watching it. Like, I did think like heels are impractical to run in, but I didn't like think of they make so much noise. It wasn't until I was rewatching, I was like, they do make a lot of noise now that people point it out.
She stepped out of her room and it's like click, click, click. It's like, I'm someone who wears heels to school. I'm that person. I'm short, but I'm walking down the hallway and it's like you can hear me step 2 floors up. Like they're fucking loud as shit on linoleum. Imagine them on tile. Like the sound
Yeah.
of heels on tile is a truly powerful sound that can either boost your ego 600% or make you feel like you are literally a worm with legs.
Well,
And-
if you're trying to sneak, you're a worm with legs. If you're just, I said if you're trying to sneak, you definitely feel like a worm with legs.
No, but like a human-sized worm, so like a
Yeah,
6 foot
no,
long worm. that's like-
I know, I got what you meant.
This girl, this amazingly talented woman, could easily have used her glyphs to get her the hell out of Dodge much faster.
Dude, okay, I actually said that in my reaction video. Like, when she locked the door, instead, I was like, couldn't she just, like, quickly dash down the hall using a glyph instead? Like, without making a sound, like, he could open it. Like, I was like, you locking the door just draws attention to something's up in the house. And now they're pissed. Like, I was like, Weiss, what are you doing? And Clyde's gonna get fired. He's gonna get fired or something.
About him.
And
I thought he was actually gonna get caught.
oh yeah, well,
I thought
Whitley,
that
I think
Whitley was-
Whitley was onto something.
I thought Whitley was gonna pop up and be like, "Hello."
Same. I thought Whitley was going to be in the library,
Oh,
like, waiting
dude.
for them. So Weiss would walk in waiting for Klein, and Whitley would just be like, "Hello, sister," and it just be
Yeah.
like,
Well, I'm predicting someone's going to be on the other side of that secret passage. Well, I don't know if it's a secret passage because back in the 1800s or up to like the 1930s, they had like passageways for like servants to go through in big houses.
it's
And
probably
so I think it's just one of those, not like a secret passage, but like a passage for maids and servants to go through without like being in the main part of the house.
that's probably what it was. I don't think there was really going to be someone there. I think it was probably more of a look. There's a ship right there, but they had such a good father-daughter moment. and it
She
was
should have just
important.
took him with her. She
The only
was-
thing that I found awkward about their interaction was at the end.
when he had
In that
the
sort
red
of
eyes.
situation, in that sort of situation, like when she put her hand on him,
Mhm.
I don't know about you guys, but when you are talking to somebody that's like, you know, I guess now you're only going to have Winter as your family after this.
Mhm.
It's just like a hand, to me, doesn't do enough.
Oh, like a
Like,
you need like a
Klein
hug.
might not be the most touchy-feely sort of guy, so that
Mhm.
could be
But
why.
it's not. It's more Weiss, I think.
Yeah,
Because
Weiss.
Weiss isn't exceptionally touchy-feely either.
Yeah, she doesn't get a lot of affection in that sort of way. So I think
True.
she'd be very awkward in knowing how to initiate stuff like that. Like I'm speaking from personal experience. Like it's a little tricky to learn sometimes, and you're always like, should I hug? Do I not hug? Do I
The answer is always hug.
do the
Yeah,
awkward
every
Christian
time.
side hug? You know?
That and hugging in heels when the person is shorter than you is really awkward.
Then take off the heels,
Yeah.
which you should have done in the first place.
Okay, but okay, she's not gonna stop in the middle of the hallway and take off heels because like at RTX, when we'd be like, "Oh my god, can I have a hug?" and they would be like here on me when I'm.
Oh
in my
yeah,
closet,
yeah.
and I'd have,
Bend
like,
your
awkward,
knees.
like-
Bend your knees. Bend the knees.
No, that's what I
Squat.
would do, but like you're awkwardly
Just
sitting there, and
squat.
it's like I hope I don't like butt bounce someone out of the way. Like
Yeah. No. I
it's
mean,
just really awkward because it's not really comfortable for
No,
you. And it's just,
I- I could
Your
relate just a
house.
little bit because I was on a ballroom team and we had to wear Latin heels, which were like 2 inches all the time. But like, I don't have
Suck.
boobs, so.
I don't do heels.
But I've been on the other end of the equation too, where it's like
Never-
I do not want to be in that area, and you're just like, okay, we're trying to hug, but we're trying not to have this. It's awkward on both sides. So
Yeah, but why was she wearing heels? Like, one, she could have used her glyphs. Two, she could have worn other shoes. Like, she has to own shoes that aren't heels, right? Like, granted,
Yeah.
props to her for not wearing spike heels because those are even louder. But it's like, you're sneaking out. I realize you fight in heels, but this isn't a matter of being comfortable because you can run in heels. You can fight in heels.
Mhm.
I've done that before.
Weiss did it,
It's doable. Weiss does it routinely,
Mhm.
but
which I thought was a terrible idea.
wearing fucking flats.
yeah,
Also, Andrew says, how is Weiss going to get out of Atlas before it closes its borders? It looks like, didn't Ironwood say he's closing it, like, in the next week?
Yeah, by next
Yeah,
week.
by next week. So
Okay.
she has a very small margin, but a margin all the same.
Yeah. Plus, people need his permission. It sounds like to get out, and she is very much on his good side compared to the rest of Atlas. So, like we've seen him be protective of her at the party. So I wouldn't be surprised if borders are closed. She could just talk to him, and he could probably escort her out himself and meet her up with Winter. Interesting thing about Ironwood that I really wanted to talk about. Jax Schnee said, "You stole Winter," and I'm like, part of me wanted to be like, so how did he steal her? Like,
he probably showed her. He probably was like pulled on a ladder and was like, "I can show you the world of tactical and combat fighting."
Shining, shimmering, sterling silver.
Shining, shimmering guns.
Yeah, because part of me part of me was thinking that like he gave her like he presented her the option of joining the army, and then the other part of me for some reason goes like when people say you stole a person, it's usually always like in a romantic sense they mean, and I'm like Winter doesn't like look up to him as a senpai, does she? I mean,
Well,
but
that depends on how you mean the term.
Yeah,
I feel
like the anime schoolgirl kind of senpai, not the
Oh.
not the military
Like
yes sir
upper class.
senpai. Yeah.
When Winter interacts with, we only really see her interact with Ironwood a couple times, but it seems like she just acts like almost like he's more of a father, I guess, in a sense, because it's like Schnee, like when she was gonna not kill, but when she was gonna hurt Crow, and then she's yelling.
She was gonna kill him. Let's admit it. She was gonna kill
She was
him.
gonna rip him in, but
Please.
you see, she's just kind of like, I've made a mistake, and she's just like angrily behind him, and it's like it kind of reminded me of like a kid who gets in trouble for doing something that they're not supposed to. Like, the two siblings are like at each other's throats, and then one of them gets in trouble, and you're just kind of like, what would have done if I didn't got caught, meddling kid.
And your stupid dog too.
So I just thought of something. So with the latest episode that we've seen, we saw how Tyrion was with Salem when she was disappointed. Now we'll touch on that later. So we saw that. We saw how he acted. Now, in this case, it makes you wonder what their relationship is. It reminds me of a child and a parent, a very specifically spoiled, needy child in a somewhat abusive relationship with their parent. For Winter and James, completely different. Similar in the sense that could be a possible father figure for her, but it's on not equal but level terms. Like, he understands that she's his subordinate, but also she's really close. Like, he trusts her implicitly. He believes exactly what she said in her report. Yeah. He has every reason to.
And she has the ability to be like, but sir, even if he cuts her off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'd like to point something out just because Boggle Knight, he said romantically stealing Winter from her father. What kind of fan fiction are you reading? I was thinking more in like the Romeo and Juliet way. I was thinking like, you know, like a father is like, I don't like this boy, you stay away from him, but then like the daughter runs off with him anyways, and they'd refer to that as stealing. There's also the stealing like, hey, that was my significant other and you just took them and now my heart's broken. But I was thinking more of the Romeo.
You threw it against the wall like a wet paper towel. You threw it against the wall like a wet paper towel. Around Christmas time, I was like sitting at the house, and I was home alone, and I'm just like sliding through the house, like, yes, Christmas, I can't. And then my mom walked in and was like, you threw what against the wall like a wet paper?
Yeah, minority here. I actually don't know what you guys are referring to.
Oh, we're talking about was it Play Pals or Rage Quit?
It was Rage Quit.
Okay, it was Michael Jones. He was doing a Rage Quit on. He was doing Surgeon Simulator. And he accidentally threw the heart against the wall, and he's like, "You just threw it against the wall like a wet paper towel."
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Achievement Hunter video I ever saw.
That was one of the recent ones. Was that? Wait, you said that was.
Oh no, it's an older one. It's an Achievement Hunter.
It was a while ago.
I think it might have been Play Pals because I think it was Gavin who threw the heart.
It was Gavin and Michael, so it probably was. But I mean, that was like the first Achievement Hunter video I ever saw, and I started laughing so hard.
Yeah, dude. I remember like around Christmas time we were sending each other the Tumblr post where someone had the sound clip where it's like the song with that.
Yep.
But
back to Jacques though. and Ironwood. I'm actually a little frustrated with Ironwood because every single time I kind of get a stance on how I view him, he does something that immediately changes it.
Oh yeah, I am very worried he's gonna start like
Yeah.
being like too crap. What was the word? Starts with a P. Too paranoid. You know,
I don't
or
know.
not too paranoid.
But
Too like he's taken too far of measures and like might create something bad in trying to do something good. Kind of similar to what he did in Volume 3, where it was like,
yeah.
hey, I brought my army to protect everyone. And then Ozpin's like, well, now everyone's kind of scared of like, is there some sort of threat? You know?
Yeah. Like, because I've always had very mixed feelings towards Ironwood, because in Volume 3 it was kind of like, I don't like you. You could have avoided all of this situation if you just told Ozpin you had a robot girl in the tournament.
Yeah.
And then with what happened with Weiss earlier in this volume, it was kind of like, okay, you know, she seemed like a decent person because he stood up for her.
Yeah.
Like, she's the only one making sense around here. It's like, thank you. You have a brain. And then now with this conversation with Jacques, it was like, yeah, show him. And then he was like, if only Oz had listened to me. And it's kind of like, okay. Ozpin has made some mistakes, trademark, but that does not mean that you are the shining paladin in sterling silver glory.
Yeah.
I would actually like to throw this in there. I think he's completely aware of that. He feels had they had worked together in a way, because while it's Ozpin's kingdom. While Ozpin was trying to do things subtly, tactfully, James was scared from the start. Like, he's a military man. He's not, in a way, he strikes me as the sort of military man that puts strength before thought. All brawn, less brain. Hence, well, in this case, that's actually, Scarecrow, but not Tin Man. But so with James, he looks at a situation and, like, for instance, when they found out about the stuff in the Southeast, then he was like, we'll send all these men down there and we'll take care of it. It's just like, but you don't actually know if there's anything there. You're not thinking. You're just trying to finish this. He's terrified of Salem.
Yeah. Oh well, anyone would.
Exactly, but he's terrified of Salem. He's terrified of the unknown. He doesn't know what to expect like Crow does.
Yeah, and Ozpin has kind of, like, out of their whole group, Ironwood was, like, by far out of the picture, like, didn't know what was going on.
And part of that was because he was an Atlas, and then I think part of that was just because when Ozpin was like, hey, maybe we can do this thing, and I was just like, do I still get to shoot things?
Well, I mean, like Jacques said, and like he said himself, I mean, he holds 2 seats on the council.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a headmaster and a general, so he's insanely busy. So trying to divide his attention to be general, headmaster, and protector.
Yes.
That would drive somebody to stress. You can see it in his face.
Like, the shadow on his face.
I thought that was just like, man, he's not really caring too much right now. That seems a bit strange. But I started to notice it more and more. He's insanely stressed out. You see it in this last one because when he slams his fist down, he shatters the desk.
He's shaky and anxious and paranoid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's a man, and part of me, the reason why I'm about to say this is because of what he told Yang and Team Ruby after Yang's attack.
Oh, the battlefield changes. You start seeing things.
You see things even well after they've already happened and been done. He still sees shit. He still sees the stuff. His body is half robot now. Like, the dude has a lot that's happening. He's trying to do so much. He's trying to keep his people safe. He's going to become a dictator.
Yeah, that's like, very much the feeling I was getting. And
I'm loving how this is going. Like, as a storyteller, as a writer, I sit here and I watch how this goes, and I see the breakdown of his positive, like, character. He's still trying to do good, but he's not hitting the nail on the head, and we started to see that at the beginning.
Well,
you don't get to see.
Sometimes good people do bad things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say you brought up his inspiration, which was the Tin Man, and I would say maybe he's using more brain, but like not really a whole lot of heart into it. Like he's not really thinking or like feeling about like how the plans will work. Like sure, closing the borders, but he doesn't think about people's emotions and all that, or like bringing an army to the Vital Festival. Like how will people feel about that? How will that affect people emotionally? So that's kind of what I was thinking, like he's making decisions without really thinking about the emotional side, the moral side. I don't know.
I still kind of want Glinda to show up at one point. I realize it would be complete. Like I feel like I can't really see this happening in Volume 4 and Volume 5 for any foreseeable future. But maybe just like a chibi episode or something, or even a blooper where it's that whole conversation and Glinda just throws on the door and is like, nope, no, 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 nope, 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 nope. Listen, like you are like shoves like a sleeping cat. I'm like, you will sleep, and in 12 hours you will come back here and think about what you've done.
And shave. Don't forget shave.
Yes.
So we have some stuff we've been kind of avoiding chat, I guess. We have a few things to talk about from the chat. Let's see. The first one I came across was where'd it go? Not yet.
Oh.
Not yet.
This I did see the Leo comment.
This is chat stuff. Not chat.
There's lots of Leo in the chat too.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was a while back.
Everyone's like, so Leo's the cowardly lion. I am so hyped.
Very nice. Where did it go? Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. So Andrew asked you, David. So Jacques shouldn't be able to get Weiss back after the lockdown on Atlas, right? Does that feel satisfying?
That should, but she's not out of the storm yet. Like I need to see her out of Atlas before I could start celebrating, because I know more than anything that like things get hit the fan very last minute, even when there's like that glimpse of hope at the end. So once she's like out of Atlas and maybe even reunited with Winter, then I could have a sigh of relief and then say, screw you, Jack. But
she'll be like I can see her being at like the airport, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm getting on my ship. Like, oh, I guess she has like a private ship, so she wouldn't be, but like boarding, and it's like, oh hey, you know what would make this flight really enjoyable? Grimm.
Yeah, I was thinking something or like more like Jack or Whitley caught up and caused a family conflict at the airport or something. Civil War airport scene, Ruby edition.
But like the thing with that scene is that it's literally 8 people running at each other in a parking lot.
And that's what I want. Just Whitley, Whitley and Jack running on one side, and then Weiss and Klein on the other side, just running at each other.
But the thing is, like, Jacques can't do anything. He's just gonna start like saying mean things and forming them into a sword. He will take the script out of his own mouth, fashion a sword, and and then Whitley will just start crying because apparently being a whiny bitch gets some things in life.
Yeah. That is
so we have a question from MetaB, which also Metabee, fantastic name, Autobots rep. I mean, I'm sorry. Whoa, Metabots. Oh my God.
Shame.
Shush. Shame.
Time to hang the shame.
Okay, what was the question?
All right. Anyway, the question is, it's more of a general question overall, but what if Ironwood's actions will lead towards the destruction of Atlas? It's a possibility that he may be doing the right thing, but it could backfire, which is a great point in the sense of the division by blocking off the borders.
That's kind of what I was thinking is going to happen with him if he continues down his path. He's just getting, like we said, he's starting to become a little bit like a dictator, and that kind of tears the place up. I mean, it's pretty much everyone gets affected but the guy in charge. I mean, I guess in this case he would get affected a bit mentally and emotionally, but like for the most part he'll be fine, whereas everyone else is going to be pretty pissed.
I can kind of imagine, like, in later volumes, like after that happens, like Atlas begins to fall, and they probably would have to like take Atlas the same way that they took Bale. But sorry, I forgot that. I was like, vacuole mystery going through my head. But I can almost imagine, like, at one point Team Ruby or Team Ranger, everyone like all reunited, like having to go and talk to Jacques and being like, look, you need to stop this. Like, they're already in the city. If you don't let people get out, there's going to be nothing but casualties kind of a situation. And just having been under so much stress for so long that Iroh has essentially just kind of crumbled under his own ambition, choked on his own ambition to.
And not to mention, this is just playing into Salem's hand even more, because I'm sure she would love to see another Great War just break out.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's what they're trying to provoke with the fall of Beacon and the Vital Festival being totally in danger, is to create distrust between all the kingdoms. And then like Atlas starts shutting its borders, then Vacuo starts doing other stuff, and then, you know, everyone starts doing different things that just kind of agitate the other kingdoms, and eventually a war breaks out, if not a huge grim breakout, and chaos ensues.
Something else interesting would be that if the main cities are falling and the main kingdoms are falling, people would not necessarily feel safe in the kingdom, so they would go out to the outskirts and the villages more. It is possible they would go out there more, but that fear would lead to more grim. So it's just kind of this recurring cycle of like leaving, getting killed more, people who are in the villages going, well, I guess it's safer in the city, going in the city, getting killed. So it's just kind of this whole...
It's going to create a blender, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to compare it to a herd of cattle with horns untrimmed. If you get them stirring in a circle, it's a meat grinder. And that's kind of what I think. Like, if they're going to try to get out, they're just going to get gorged by more horns. If they try to go inwards, they're going to get gorged by more horns. There's not really a
southern thing I've ever heard.
You know, honestly, I heard it through my history class.
And you're talking to someone who says Yates.
What? What?
That's just really southern. Like I've never heard that before. I'm from Arizona. I go to school in Georgia.
Well, okay. So my dad's side of the family.
I don't say that.
My dad's side of the family does have a dairy farm, but all the cows have their horns trimmed. But also, it's just something I learned in history class, in AP US history, when we were talking about the Western world and like cowboys and all that.
You'll manifest this.
And it just happened to be my history teacher is like a huge cowboy nerd. So like he came in a huge get up that day, and it was like, whoa, man.
By McCree. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was like, McCree, eat your heart out.
Did you ever have class before lunch, and then it was time to leave, and he'd just be like, "It's 12 o'clock."
Oh, wait. I'm trying to remember when we had our lunch period. I think our lunch period started from like 11:30 to 12, and like class would start at 12:05.
Metaphor. Oh, quick question. Apparently my mic is still kind of low. Chat, are you able to hear me well, or is there still something wrong with my mic? How's this? Is this
like I said, better? I could hear. No, you just went quieter, just barely.
On our Skype call, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, I could hear you just fine.
Them, though.
I mean, you are at a lower volume than David, just also in terms of audio quality. But
well, I am using a super expensive microphone to talk, but from what I'm seeing in OBS, like your guys' volume levels pretty good. But I will turn it up just a tad bit. So you went from 12 to 20.
It could also be that you and I are used to talking louder. So we just naturally seem to like
I was a theater kid, so
Same.
Also, can we start talking about Yang? Like, she spray painted the arm as she's leaving, and then also Tai is like, "Hey, I'm gonna acknowledge you're an adult, and I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna give you at least the choice of what to do, and it is your decision to choose what you're doing." Okay, sorry. Okay, Aaron, you could go. You're like dying.
I have many things to say about this. Because I was actually a little bit spoiled for this episode in that I saw 3 screen caps. 4, but I scrolled past one of them really, really quickly, and I forgot about it until later. And 3 of them was one picture of Yang, one picture of Blake, and one picture of Weiss. It was just the caption, "Where are you going?" So it's like, what?
Was that question asked to all 3 of them in this last chapter?
No, I thought it was going to be, but it was only asked by Tai Yang. But the thing is, he actually didn't give her all of the options, and she and Blake kind of switched positions. And I don't know if I got the chance to talk about this in my reaction, but everyone is kind of at the end of volume 3, everyone was in a position that was very similar to where they were at the very beginning of the series. Like Ruby was heading off into a position of leadership with way too much on her shoulders for being 15 at the time. Weiss was trying to deal with her father in the very beginning, and she was back to being in that environment. Yang was very much punch first, ask questions later. She was searching for answers, and then she was left without the means, like in an area where she felt helpless, and that she has that feeling again. In the beginning, Blake ran, and she ran again. But at the end of volume 4, things are a little bit different. Like for Ruby, she definitely has the weight of the world on her shoulders, but Jean has made it clear that it's not hers alone to bear. She is not Atlas. She will not have to bear the world of Remnant alone. So that's already a huge improvement for her. And then Weiss is, I hate to say free just in case, but like, free, knock on wood. She is fighting, she's rebelling against her father.
Okay.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, sorry. So Zeno the Wise had donated to Brian.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Thank you so much.
I didn't notice, and like I was trying to find questions and everything earlier, so I guess I might have just rolled over. And so I just noticed it said plugged in for the 4th time. So anyway, continue.
And like so, Weiss is adapting in that response, and then Blake and Yang. They haven't so much completely switched positions, but they've definitely taken very different ones. And they've both been very heavily influenced by the other in ways that I didn't really think were entirely apparent until, I'm just thinking about it right now, as always. But Yang, one, I knew she was going to spray paint her arm. I've seen art of it. The version that I had planned to make for RTX that was laying just ready to be assembled last year was that exact color scheme.
Another prediction you made just a lot earlier.
I had just seen art that morning because when I restored my phone, I lost like all of my photos. So my most recent photo that I had saved at the time was actually Yang spray painting her arm or painting it gold. So that just felt like really, really weird. But it's like she is running, but she's not necessarily running away from anything. She's running towards answers because she's not just looking for Ruby, who she's in Mistral, and she doesn't only have the option to go look for her mother, which, by the way, called it. I knew that I knew that Crow fucking told her where Raven was. I said that to you, David.
I know you did. I know.
I sent you that whole like scheme for what I thought was going to happen before volume 4, right when volume 3 ended, and that was in it. I knew it.
You told me.
I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah, no,
she's just ripping into you on this. She's like, I told you. I know.
Well, when someone predicts something like a whole year almost before something actually happens, they're gonna be very prideful, you know. Hey, Rooster Teeth, you should just hire this girl. She already knows the plot, you know. She could just help write it. She already knows what's gonna happen.
You could already. It's implied that he told her beforehand because of what he said in volume 3.
Yeah,
he's like, if you want to know, and you know she wants to know because of what she said earlier in volume 2, burning the candle.
But there's also she has more than just those options. It's not just Ruby or her mother. There is Blake, and that's something that Tai Yang didn't bring up. It was I guess it didn't occur to him, but she has a huge choice ahead of her, and she starts she seems to be leaping without looking again, and then Tai gives her a friendly reminder, just like when they were first sparring. That's hey, think this through. Where are you running to? Because it's one thing to get in your car and drive away. It's another thing to be okay, I'm going to go here, and she has that decision to make, and it's clear that she's going to make that decision before she goes. That we'll probably see that we won't see that decision until volume 4, but she's thinking ahead. She has learned. She has very painfully learned. And I am so proud of all of the members of Team Ruby. I want to carry pictures around in my wallet and just be look at my children. It's all good.
Look at this photograph.
Look at this photograph. And then just stop. Don't say anything else. Just stand there, just
Yeah.
That actually brings me to Blake, because
Blake is wanting to take charge.
Before we get to Blake.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't add anything on Yang.
Okay.
So, all right. So, as everyone knows, Yang is my favorite of Team Ruby. So, Yang is my girl, and Kai, you and me, we fight over Yang all day, every day.
Money on King.
Like when I heard the spray can shake, I got ecstatic. Like, because
Dude,
it's a huge moment for Yang.
I jumped out of
Because
my seat.
she's acknowledged herself. She feels ready, and it's not just that confident, ha 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 ha, I can go do it now. She took time. She took time to re-spray paint everything.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't leave the damage on Ember Celica's left gauntlet. She redid it. It's all redone. It shows that she's willing to take the time to prepare. She's no longer rushing in. She's no longer sitting there thinking all I have to do is just get in there and punch it.
Well, also, I took it as like her kind of showing she's accepting the arm as part of her now. Like,
yes.
this is part of me. This is who I am now. This is like
it's
who I am now.
Normal.
Yeah, new normal. Whereas like leaving it gray was just kind of like she's
wrong.
dealing with it, but like it's not part of her yet. Yeah.
I was just thinking of it in a color scheme fact. I was like, Yang, that is a cool gray. You are definitely an autumn color scheme.
I was really happy to see that too, because like because when I make Volume 4 Yang, I wasn't sure what they planned on doing with her in the sense of, is she going to build a new Ember Celica to put on the new arm? Is she going to get modifications to make it a new Ember Celica? Because we've seen lots of fan art like that. And if like right now, I'm fine with where they're having it. If they don't do anything else to it, that's fine, because that'll give me plenty to work with Volume 4 already. I'm already behind as it is, and I have 5 months to get it done.
Relatable.
Yeah.
But it's really good to see Yang grow like this, because she's had a lot happen to her. I mean, she lost a piece of herself, so she had to, as you know, we already stated, find a new normal. Because your life will change. You're not going to be able to stay the same forever. So this new normal was something that she had to literally fight to achieve.
Yeah.
And by, unmasking Bumblebee.
Yeah, it did make me think of Bumblebee, because the arm made me think of Bumblebee, because he was like a very dark gray with yellow. So I was like, Bumblebee.
And with the talk, and I've already said part of like what I wanted to say already with Crow talking to Yang and it being implied and everything. And because I had always wondered, why didn't she ever ask like Crow before? Because that's his sister. He would know. He should know. Why didn't she ever actually, like, why did she wait so long to really try and do anything? And when Ty was like, I asked Crow not to tell you. And I was like, there we go. That explains it. In like one sentence, it's explained. I don't know why I ever thought about it. So I'm going to cut that short, and I can talk about that later. But move on to Blake.
Okay.
Actually, one more thing about Yang, because you reminded me. If I may. David, you haven't really talked much about Yang, so if you want, you can go ahead.
Oh, well, I talked about the arm just a little bit. And like, sure. I was like, I just quickly said, like, oh, yeah, Ty accepted she's an adult and gave her a choice to choose as an adult, whereas a kid would have ran without direction. Then he was like, hey, you're going to be an adult. I'm going to give you another chance to adult more. But then also, like, accepting the arm as part of her, like, that was pretty much all. But I want to move on to the Blake and the interrupting parents. And
can I put my one quick Yang thing in? Really quick?
Yes.
New outfit change, baby!
Woo!
It is on the horizon. It was in the promotional art for the volume, and I am so ready, because she's gonna be. I think she's going after Blake. Not even just through all the things that are going on, but also through the costume, the outfit itself. It's the twin tails. It is the Adam and Blake tailcoat. It's the whole thing.
I love it when you talk about the twin tails. Just so you know, like every time you mention it, I'm like, yeah.
I have to disagree. I don't think she's going after Blake. I don't think she's quite sure on how she's going to deal with Blake. Maybe later on, but right now she has no idea. She has no leads on Blake. So I think I think the best bet that she's going to end up doing is going after her mother and sister in Mistral.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I'm just hoping.
But I understand. Like, I'm looking forward to the day that she punches Blake in the face for, abandoning her. She's going to, like, I'm not saying it's necessary, but I just have a feeling she's going to.
Or even beyond that, like, I'm just happy, like, I'm excited that she's getting an outfit change as well, because, like, her entire outfit this season has just been, it's not combat clothes. I mean, like, there's kind of a very...
Some of it's been, like, kind of training workout clothes.
Like, I'm kind of hesitant to use the phrase combat outfit for Ruby, just because, Weiss fights in a dress, combat skirt, and heels. So if that's a combat outfit, then what else isn't a combat outfit? But Yang is very like, it's not sweatpants, but she's like wearing sweatpants and a tank top. Like,
yeah, those are
it's much more
very
casual.
at home kind of clothes.
That's like comfort. That's like when you have a rough day and you go home, you put on sweatpants and eat 3 gallons of ice cream. So having her get this whole new change of outfit that is similar to her original one, even though we haven't seen the front. This is just going off the silhouette again still.
Mm-hmm.
Or not the really silhouette, but like
the promotional art.
Yeah. Like, it's just so interesting because it's more of that taking who she was, accepting what happened to her, and using that to move forward and be stronger.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, even if she goes if she goes after her mom, if she goes after Ruby, if she goes after Blake, it's
something that's changed her and a part of her
some of it's changed her. Like, no matter what she does, like, she's going out to find answers for the things in her life that she isn't able to control that have affected her. Her mother.
She's always been looking for answers in her life.
Always.
Yeah.
Like, she's always been looking for answers. She's always been searching. She's always been asking herself that question. And now Ruby, and now Blake and Adam. So it's this whole thing of, let me have some control. Like, I'm done letting things happen to me. Let me have some semblance of control over my goddamn life. And I'm still really happy about the whole tailcoat ass cape. I mean, I feel so bad for whoever's in charge of doing the keyframes for that, but it's gonna look so cool. And every single fight scene that she does, because if she uses her legs more, it's gonna be all.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like drooling thinking about the animation right now.
I'm just ready for an awesome costume reveal. Okay, so we have like 4 minutes left, and I have plans where I have to like literally run out the door when I hit stop stream. So I'm sorry, I don't want to rush this, and I really want to talk about Blake, but I really want to say talk about predictions for chapter 12 as well.
Okay.
So if there was gonna be death tomorrow, who are we? And Era, you better say villain names because you're usually right, and if you name a beloved character,
dude, like people have been tweeting at me like, you know that the Nuck breathes poison and Thor died from poison, right? And
oh no!
Like, you know what? I have lost already two
redheads.
Of the redheads that I love in Ruby. I'm not a huge Roman person. I can understand the appeal of him, but I'm not like a huge fan. So when he died, I was kind of like, yeah, bitch, bye.
Yeah, bye, Roman.
But if we lose Nora, I am going to lose my shit. I don't think anyone's gonna die. I really don't think so. I'm really hoping I'm right on this aspect. But I think someone's gonna get seriously hurt, just because one thing that a lot of people have been forgetting is that while Crow is unconscious, he's still there. The passive aspect of his semblance is still there.
Yeah, which I think we brought this up last week after VYTALCast, but I think Crow's semblance kind of brought the Nukkavali to them. But now that they're going to go into combat, I hope it changes into their favor, the bad luck. Because it seems like when it's not in combat, it's very bad for you. But then once you're in the combat, it's bad
in
for
combat,
them.
you can use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Unless it's in Ruby's case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
But one thing that's interesting is that they brought up in last chapter that I'm really hoping will be involved, but I'm not sure, is that when going back to where Ren and Nora found its lair, because Nora varies, like, it sounds like a storm, like she said a line like that, and it's very cloudy, and I really hope that there's lightning, just because she's an Energizer Bunny. If lightning will give me so much more joy at this moment than Ren or Jean, like, throw back to volume 3, just be like calling out Nora, and she just goes, got it.
Just smash.
Like deep Southern Kentucky fried
it's like
Nucklavy.
Nora, just hit him with a hammer, and everyone's like,
So-
what?
So
nuggets.
and I mentioned Nuggets.
Nuck
So,
it.
I mentioned
2017.
this after VYTALCast last week, but fresh water in general, is something that the Nukklavy hates.
Oh.
So when the thunder and lightning happens,
There's
and the
usually
starts
rain.
to fall,
Oh yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
So while Crow's semblance may help them or harm them, we are yet to see, because we don't know how much it affects really.
How much rain they'll
So-
get. Just kidding.
Not so much.
They get like a huge flood.
And they get just like a beam of sunshine right on them. Just like, but so in that case, water, electricity, potential for catastrophe, but also potential for a catastrophic finish on the Nuck. However, I'm really hoping that they have to be saved by this thing. It's too powerful for them to finish like that unless for some reason Ruby's silver eyes activate and they freeze it again.
Yeah, that was something I thought of this week.
Extreme cop-out.
Yeah, it would be a cop-out. And also I'm like, well, the last time that happened, something very emotional like Pyrrha's death had to happen. And I'm like, Crow, maybe? I just really don't want Ren or Nora. Yeah, there's just not enough.
There's not enough emotional weight in that region. Because, it's not, so far, at least with Team Ranger, it hasn't been a test of bonds. It has kind of been with Crow and Ruby, because Ruby is like, look, I still trust you. But even then, it's not that distance that was created back
Rangers
in
never faced any challenges between them.
If anything, it's showing the strength of their bonds. Like Ren, who's usually so stoic, being like, not again, sprinting back, the pure emotion on his face. That was essentially the equivalent of Ruby Silver Eyes last volume, but for him, that was his emotional climax, more or less. So I forgot exactly where I was going with this. God damn it.
Red Knight Shyamalan.
I can feel the energy, I can feel the thought, in my soul, and I'm like, I feel the need to punch and yell it from the top of my lungs. I don't know what it is, so I'm just really angry.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because somebody. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I said it out loud. Which is funny because yesterday at work I was talking about his movies with coworkers, but yeah, I was talking about The Sixth Sense.
Stoic Drug has had some really good one-liners going on tonight, and I haven't been able to say a lot because I don't want to interrupt, but they've been pretty good. Yeah. So that one just made me have to point it out.
All right, so
back to Nostalgia Critic with the whole M. Night Shyamalan Avatar Last Airbender stream where it's
no. We don't talk about the Last Airbender live action. Okay. Hey, okay, so just because I'm -2 minutes to go, last thoughts for chapter 12. What's one thing you think is going to happen for chapter 12, and then we got to go.
Complete gruesome badass fight. I want emotional destruction, but maybe not death. I don't know. I'm a very masochistic person
I don't
myself
want death
when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
Fight scene so beautiful that I'm legitimately going to have it playing on 1/4 speed in the background while I'm working on my modeling assignment for the rest of the month.
You'll most likely get that.
Same. Actually, that would probably help for the film stuff that I'm trying to study too. So
yeah.
All right, that would actually work out.
I'm taking some previs courses next quarter if you ever need
help. Yeah, I've taken TV production classes.
No death.
Okay. For me,
God bless son. That's
all
I'm gonna.
Yeah, for me, I just want drama and action and no deaths. Okay, so.
All right.
Nora.
Yeah. Guys, I'm so sorry for this rushed ending for VYTALCast, but
it got very deep on parts we did not expect that apparently.
That, and then also my cousins gave me a real time thing. They could only hang out tonight, and we're shopping for food. That's what we're doing. That's how cut for time they are for their weekend.
Wow.
And, I thought I wouldn't be seeing them till tomorrow.
Date to Walmart.
It's actually Costco we're going to. Thank you very much. We're getting bundles.
Oh, a little bit more class.
Yeah.
That's fourth date material.
You need the pass to get into this place.
Are you gonna get to ride on the little rocket ship in front?
They don't have that, sadly. Costco doesn't have those, sadly.
It's sad. They just have free food.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the free food. Ooh. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Puns and Damage and King of Lame if you haven't already, or subscribe to Portal 64. Give us a like.
Thanks for hanging out, you beautiful degenerates. You'll catch them again next time.
We talked a lot about Ironwood and didn't mean to.